So why is all this happening? I'm going to give you the why of Joe Biden, the progressive left, which is bolstered by social media and a corporate media. The combination of social media power and corporate media power has overwhelmed the American people. Okay. So there are 5 key things that the progressive left wants in America. Put the first one up on the screen, please. Silence opposition with the cooperation from social media companies and corporate media organizations. All right? The assault on the Capitol in Washington, D.C. opened up the avenue to do that. The progressive left wants to silence its opposition completely. Now, I was on Fox News Channel for more than 20 years. There wasn't one day that I wasn't attacked viciously by the left-wing media, trying to silence me, intimidate me, okay? They couldn't do it until there was a corporate change at Fox. Then, number 2, this is the number 2 one. Control the American economy through regulation and taxation. So just today, actually it was late last night, the Pentagon now says that climate change is a national security threat. Nobody heard it. Nobody reported it. The Pentagon, the military, says climate change is now classified as a national security threat. When you have a national security threat, the government gets extraordinary power. Now, you saw the $2 trillion that Biden did. The government, the central government, the progressives want the government to run the private economy, right? The private economy is run now by companies, corporations. Progressives don't like that. They want the central government in D.C. to run the economy. This is step 1. Climate change, national security threat, tremendous regulations will be imposed, higher taxation, all to strengthen the hand of the federal government in running the entire economy. You saw it yesterday. Biden gets up and says, I'm knocking out thousands of jobs by closing down the fossil fuel industry as much as I can. But we're going to create jobs in the green industry, the Green New Deal. The federal government doesn't create jobs. It never has. It's impossible for it to do so. Private sector controls that. They create the jobs, okay? Not the federal government. But the federal government can tell the private corporations what to do. That's what Biden is saying. I'm going to tell the big energy companies they have to have this many green jobs, or else you get punished, you get fined. And those jobs will be in solar, windmill, whatever. But Biden's not going to create the jobs. It has to be a private energy firm. But the private energy firm isn't going to go up against a strong federal government that will punish them through regulations. You could strangle private industry by saying you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to invest this much money, you got to do that. You can kill them, put them out of business. That's what the progressives want, the power to control the private marketplace. All right, number 3. The progressives want to distribute federal tax dollars, that's what we pay to the feds, to marginalized groups in the form of benefits. Now, you know what the marginalized groups are. African Americans, Hispanic Americans, LBGT, indigenous Americans, whatever it may be, all right? It's equity. That's the equity thing. So we're going to take all the tax money and we're going to give it in grant form, block form, sometime direct payment, food stamps, housing subsidies, whatever, just to these people, so they can have parity with the white people, because the white people exploited all of the marginalized people forever, so we got to have payback. This is reparations, but they don't call it that, okay? But that's what it is. You redistribute all the tax money, not to everybody's welfare, not across the board for prosperity for all. No, to certain crews. That's the equity thing. That's what Biden is doing. Number 4, the progressives want to punish opposition. First silence, shut them up, then punish them by using federal agencies like the FBI to enforce bias laws. So, if you go on Facebook and say I'm opposed to equity or whatever it may be, they may censor you, but also you may be put in a file of being a white supremacist. What do you think the white supremacy stuff is? That's a file kept on a computer. These are the people. You see it now. What's the biggest threat? Domestic terrorism, white supremacy. And if you object, just object. White supremacist. You could be punished, sanctioned. Now, I'm not a conspiracy guy. People get mad at me a lot because I don't buy into the mass conspiracies. This is what progressives want. Silence first, punish later. Finally, the 5th key provision on the progressive front. Control public education by mandating progressive indoctrination in the classroom. And it's well underway. So therefore, teachers would have to teach the 1619 Project, which says slavery was the chief formulator of the entire country. That white people are more affluent because of slavery, even today, in 2021. And there would be textbooks like Howard Zinn's book, The People's History, that would be used by schools, all far left, happening on almost every college campus now. You take a political science course, the chances are you're going to have a far left instructor. Now it's going down to high school and even elementary school and the public school level because the unions are allied with the Democratic progressive parties. So that's the 5th step. Get the kids. And we brainwash the kids. The capitalism is bad. White people are bad. The country in general is awful, corrupt all day long. George Washington, no way. You're seeing this in San Francisco now. Abraham Lincoln, nope, not going to be that. Nope, bad people. So I'm going to review just because it's very important that you know this. Progressive goals. And Biden will embrace all of them. Maybe not as vehemently. He might have, the equity thing is number 1 for him, but he'll embrace them all, at least quietly. Number 1, silence opposition with cooperation from social media and corporate media organizations. You're already seeing that. It's obvious, and it's ramped up since the Capitol insurrection. Number 2, control the American economy through regulation and taxation. Number 3, distribute federal tax dollars to marginalized groups in the form of benefits and direct payments. That is equity. Number 4, punish opposition by using federal law enforcement to brand them white supremacists and other insurrectionists. And number 5, control public education by mandating that far left opinion be taught as fact. Well, Joe Biden is going to be president, and we may be in for some economic uncertainty. That's why now more than ever, I recommend you diversify with gold and silver. The only company I recommend is American Hartford Gold. So please call them right now and tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $1,500 of free silver on your first order. Now, since I've been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold itself up over 40%, silver up over 60%. So don't wait. Call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.